Okay. Good morning. Glad to see you again. Just reading something they was talking about the chats. So, um, I just want to talk a little bit. One, let me see if I turn this off. Will make a difference. I think it'll take that shine. All right. Which I will see. Okay, I just want to talk about what my title say. Working, is it worth it? Now, I want y'all to understand that I really have nothing against working. Hardworking people. But the Bible said if a man don't work, he don't eat. The man is supposed to be the provider of the home. The man's supposed to be out there making the bread. And this is a disclaimer. I'm not here to bash no women that's working. I'm not here to bash no men that's not working. I'm not here to talk about who's working and who's not working. This is my thoughts and opinions based on my biblical knowledge and what I was taught and what I saw and my experience from working. Remember, I'm married, I have a husband. Okay, so I'm speaking from my experience of a husband working and a husband not working, me working and me not working. Okay, not nobody else lifestyle. So please don't take this personal. And if you do, then that's your issue, not mine. I just wanted to just speak a little bit on it, okay? Because people is nothing wrong with working, right? Y'all work, y'all do your thing. Okay, just like I said, this is gonna be mine. So let me talk about myself. I worked my first job that I had. I was a teenager. I was in high school, and maybe some of y'all remember if y'all come back from my kind of school days. They had a program in school that was called co-op, and I wanted to be in that program, and I spoke to my teacher about it, and you had to be picked by your teacher, and you had to be a good student. So, of course, me, church church girl, was a good student. So I got picked, and I got into the program. And the program consists of, for those of you who don't know, it's a program that allows you to work 1 week and go to school 1 week. So that way you'll be making your own money, you'll be getting the feel of having a job, getting the feel of being responsible for. I just want to say, for y'all who is gonna have Christmas with family, just be careful, because they talking about a a triple demic due to dramatic increase in respiratory viruses. So y'all just be careful out there. When you come in the closure of people around people, you know, mask up. People may think you look silly, but that's okay. Just a thought, because I wear my mask. When I get in the atmosphere and my mind tell me to put my mask on, I put it on. Doesn't matter how I look. Everybody on the bus could not have a mask on. Everybody on the train could not have a mask on. But if I'm being led to put my mask on, I'm gonna put it on, because I could be protecting myself as well as others from something. So, with that being said, So I got into this program, right? And I'm trying to think if I got a job. I think that was the downfall of it. I didn't get no job. So the time when you're supposed to be working, if you don't get a job, you're supposed to be out there looking for a job too. I I really personally think now that it was just a waste of time and it wasn't for everybody. There were some people that did get jobs, and off the top of my head, I don't remember. So I'm gonna rephrase that. Maybe there were some people that did get jobs, but I didn't get one. So that caused me to be absent a whole week. And then when I came back to school, I was lost. So that's the downfall of the program because being that you're out of school for a whole week, and then when you come back to school, you don't miss a whole week of class. So that kind of like pushed me back and caused me to be behind in my classes, in my grades. And I needed, in high school, you need a certain amount of credits in order to graduate. So now with that being said, I'm trying to think. I think I did get a job. It had to be through the program. So I guess I think I did get a job. So now let's go into that concept. So so it was a job that dealt with, I don't know whether y'all anybody know. There's like little rubbers that they put on your fingers. It's your thumb and your forefinger. And that deals with paper. So it was a lot of paper that I had to pick up. And if my memory is doing right, you had to put these papers, you had to get these papers, you had to look at, I don't know whether it was names or numbers. It might have was numbers. And you had to put those numbers in order inside the boxes. So just picture cubicles. So, but these are little tiny cubicles like mailbox slots. And we had to go from side to side and look and put them in, right? So there was a speed there, and I was slow because I think I was telling y'all in my video while I was outside, but I didn't get a chance to finish telling you that there was somebody that told me when I went to go to this program that deal with finding jobs, back to work, whatever you want to call it, and they help you find a job. So when the man was, just to throw this in right quick to give some more light on my situation, when the man was interviewing me, asking me my jobs, what type of jobs I wanted, and stuff like that, and I was telling him, he was like, "Really? Okay." But he said, "I don't see you working." He said, "Nah, you don't want to work." I said, and this was a guy. He kind of hurt my ego because in my mind, I'm saying, yes, I do want to work. Yes. He said, "You is a laid back type of person." So I was like, "A laid back?" Saying, "Yeah, I see you as laid back." So laid back is my definition of laid back is just chilling, more like a boss type of thing, you know. So I'll be honest, I got kind of offensive, right? And I was like, "Well, I don't mind working. I want to blah 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 blah." So saying that to bring that into our convo. So that's how I was on this job, this first job. I must have was about 16. I had to be about 15 or 16 years old because I hadn't gotten pregnant yet and I didn't go to Job Corps yet. So this had to be like between 15 and 17 years of age because I went to Job Corps when I got out of high school, which was 17 years old. So I was like going slow. So I guess the manager or the boss will come out and would just stand in a Pacific spot and be looking at us. So there was me and this girl, and the girl, excuse me, the girl that I was with was training me. And she would pass me and she would whisper and she said, "Come on, put some speed up. He's watching you." Because the speed, now, me, I'm telling you, I was like, he watching me? Cool. And I wasn't taking it in perspective of, oh, he watching me because I look good and stuff like that. No, I was looking at, you watching me? Watch me. You don't be looking up on me. I'm not going to say I had a nasty attitude, but as he said, I was laid back. I had my own issues. You see what I'm saying? And even at a young age, I was saying I always have to do what people say do. You see what I'm saying? People don't want to listen to what I gotta say. People don't understand my perspective of things. And I took it on a job. And I didn't keep the job. Now don't get me wrong, my title ain't got nothing to do with my attitude. My title is based on reality and my experience as far as working is concerned. And all my downfalls and stuff like that. So I went to I wound up losing that job. They wound up letting me go, but I got a good paycheck. I got my first paycheck. I think it was like $500, and when I got the check, I'm looking at us. That was a lot of money to me because I'm just 16 with $500, right? And now thinking about it, and if I had the mind that I had now, you see what I'm saying? I would be places because that job was giving me $500 at that time, and I was getting that weekly. You see what I'm saying? So just think if I had stayed on the job. I mean, we looking at the perspective now of how much money it would have been. And now that it's inflation, who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have been where I am today or how the case may be. I probably wouldn't have been the job corps. I wouldn't have went and all that other stuff. See, God knows our lives. But sometimes we put our foot in it and we mess it up. Not to say that I would not have been married, not to say I wouldn't have married Tandra and Terrence, not to say that because I still could have had the same three children, but just different names. Oh my goodness, he always calling. Let me get him off the phone. Hello, hello. He always calls me in the middle of a video. Tracy Hubby. Watch. I bet you he calling me to ask me if his daughter coming. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm all right now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Mary.
All right, Tracy. When she comes, she come. I can't tell you when she coming.
You already got your food?
Yes, I'm in the middle of something right now, and I'll call you back.
All right, sweetie.
Okay, so once he said my brain, I got ADHD, so I don't need to be interrupted because my sentences turns into run-on sentences after a while. So okay, so let's just go. So that job I want him not keeping, right? But when I got my first, this is what I was saying. When I got that first check, I looked at the check. The same girl that was training me, took me to cash it. So I got all this money in my hand, these $100 bills, 20s, whatever. It was a whole lot of money, right? And right now, today, 500 is a lot of money to me. Maybe to people that used to a check of $1,000 a week or whatever the case may be. I even work where I got $700 a week, $700 every 2 weeks. So close to $1,000. And that was just spinning my head. So $500 is always a lot to me. $200 is a lot of money to me. I'll be honest with you because I'm not big on money. When I say big on money, I'm not the type of person that you give me $20 and I'll be like, what is this? I can't do nothing with this. You give me $20, I'm gonna make that $20 stretch if I gotta use $1 a day, right? So 20 days is gonna equal to $20. So that's how I am with money, but I'll spend it quickly, but I'll stretch it out, right? Now, so now, once that job was done, then I went to Job Corps, blah, 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 blah. Met my husband, blah, 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 blah. Came home, blah, 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 blah. Me and him, me and him separated, blah, 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 blah. Because I didn't work. So I got to put his work ethics in here. Not his work ethics, that's the wrong word. I got to put his work experience in this video. Okay, so when we got married, he wasn't working, right? We both was young. He 21. No, 17, 18. He I'm 17, he 18, right? So he didn't want to work. He wanted he wanted Trump money. He wanted Trump money. I gotta say Trump because that's Trump is, you know, big money, right? At that time. He wanted Trump money, but he didn't want to do nothing. I think Trump even did something to get the money he got. So I would get up in the morning. I would look for jobs for him because now we done had two babies now, right? Because he didn't work while we was with my grandmother. He started getting the jobs when we got our own place. So he would go and I would have to go with him. I remember good. This is a young lady that was connected with my mother, right? And she had set up for, dang, I forgot her name. But she was such a nice lady though. She was nice. She was real close. She was close to my sister, my oldest sister, but the whole family knew her. But anyway, she set it up and she got my husband a job. My husband had three jobs in his lifetime. I mean, that was legit. You know what I'm saying? And he had one that was seasoned. He used to work for Goya, Goya, and their season company warehouse was on Flushing, like way down Flushing Avenue, and past Graham Avenue, all that stuff. And I went there one time with him. I don't know whether it was when he went to get interviewed because he wanted me to go everywhere with him. Who do you take? Who takes somebody on an interview with them unless they are a translator? Okay. So I went with him to this interview. He got the job and it was the season. So every time he would come home, he would smell like season. He'd come on and kiss me. And I'd be like, ooh, go take a shower first because I feel like I'm about to cook some chicken right now and put you in the flour and the oil. So he would go and wash or whatever case may be. So that was, if I'm correct, that was his first job. His second job was a furniture place. And here's the thing. He worked at a furniture where he put furniture. You know how the furniture come in the box? No, let me put it like this. Well, I could say that. The furniture come in the box to them. He takes it out of it. Well, I'm not going to even say in the box. They actually made the furniture. Where he worked at, he he made the furniture. The name of the furniture store was Avanti Furniture. I wonder if that still works. Let me look it up right quick. Avanti Furniture. Do you believe I don't know how to spell furniture? Oh, fern. All right, there we go. I do see it. It can shop Avanti Furniture, but it's called Natural Business Furniture now. I better hold on to this page because they got nice furniture for little or nothing. So I'm not sure whether I'm not sure if let me put it. Let me save this page. Oh man, say it like that. It's like hold on. Is there a bookmark? Okay, it's still like this. Avanti shopping. Okay, let's put furniture. All right. Okay, so that's going back to here. All right. So now that was the second job. So I say he had three jobs, right? So he worked at Avanti Furniture, right? And that was in Jersey. Yeah, he had to go to Jersey. So he worked in Jersey. So now, mind you, when he was working at the the spices, that's what it was, the spices. When he was working at the spices warehouse, during that course, he got saved. So now, if I'm correct, during the time that he was saved, he got the job for Avanti in Jersey. So he was making good money. But here's the thing now. I want y'all to think that because he was making money, he was taking care of his family because he wasn't. So he would come home and that's it. On payday, he would buy me. I'm trying to think what I saved. I don't think I was saved then. We had done backslide over after a while. So he would buy liquor and we would drink. We didn't do too much drinking. So I think I was saved throughout our early years of marriage for a while, right? And then I backslid. When I backslid, he had stole something from me. Stole my food stamps, all that stuff. Okay, so we talking about jobs now. So he would get paid on his payday, and after a while, during the course of the months and the years, he wasn't coming home. When he would get paid, he wouldn't get home until that night sometime. And sometimes we'd be in the house and the babies wouldn't have no formula and stuff like that. I can't really remember what I was doing with my money, you know, because I guess I was smoking and drinking and smoking cigarettes and drinking. So that's probably where my money went. But he wasn't supplying. He was very seldom supplying what I did. He had his own hangups, his own demons. So he had that job. After a while, he was going every morning. He would get up because he would get up like 4 o'clock in the morning because he had to be to work by 7 or something like that. So every morning he was getting up going, and I'm thinking he going to work. So after a while, I started getting suspicious and saying to myself, I don't know, it was just something that was in me that was like saying he wasn't going to work, like he had a girlfriend or something like that. So I was like, I couldn't follow him. Yeah, I was that type of wife. I like to get my proof. So when I say something, all right. So Okay, fast forwarding. He got another job. This job was King's Office Supply. Now, what I wanted to say, he was working at the furniture, never brought nothing home for the house. Now, you would think men working at somewhere would think about their house, furnishing their house. I mean, you working at a it's office supplies. So who you know what I'm saying? Your mind will work. Get a desk, you can put this on there, whatever the case may be. But he never thought about that. Okay, so he got a no, it's Avanti Furniture, wasn't Office Supply. His King's, when he was working at King's, that's King's Office Supply. Let's see if that one is still working. King's Office Supply Furniture. Let's see. Hmm. But we're not actually okay. It's in the UK though. He was working. Where was he working? He was working in the city. I forgot exactly where. King's Office Furniture. Yeah, I can't remember where at in Queen. I mean, where at in we ain't gonna say office. It's office supplies. King's Office Supplies and Printing. Okay, let's see if that's it. King's Office Supply and Printing. Okay, let me see where it's at. I don't know whether it was printing. I don't know. Okay, it say contact us. Let's see where you at. This look like it's out of town. I don't even know what that says. Hmm. Yeah, it's on toll free. So maybe it ain't maybe it ain't printing. Maybe it's just plain office supply. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, I don't know, but he started working there, and that one was in Manhattan, right? He started that job, and he worked there, so that was his third job. So his Avanti Furniture, he had gotten fired from the job, right? And when I found out about it, the man, his boss was like, "Who is you?" I said, "I'm his wife." "You his wife?" I never knew Tracy was married. I just was like, "Wow, what's going on in there?" I said, "Really?" I said, "Yes, we've been married for such and such a time." And he got this amount of children. It's like, really? So, well, you mean to tell me your husband didn't tell you that he no longer work here? I don't know what happened with the man or what type of relationship him and my husband had, but he had bitterness in his voice. So I don't know what my husband did to him. And he was like, well, Tracy hasn't been working here for over a year. Let's just say it was that 6 months, something like that. And I was like, really? He said, oh, he didn't tell you? So he lost that job. So I didn't know that it has something to do with his drug habit. So now he got the job at King's Office Supply. He kept that job even after we separated because that job helped him to keep his habit going. He had to have money. So he worked. So now, enough for him. So now, even though he was working, even though he was making money, but the money wasn't coming in the house, I was the breadwinner, even though I wasn't working. That caused me, I had to get on public assistance because when I was living with my grandmother, I had to get public assistance. 17, 18 years old, I had to get in public assistance. But once I had my first child, I had to go and apply for public assistance. Not for a job, because I couldn't go and get a job because I had to take care of the children. And I had one child, which is my son, but I had two children, which is my husband. So I had to take care of him as well. So then I had my son, then I had my oldest daughter, which is deceased, is the one that's deceased, and then I had the one in the middle, which is Mary. Well, Danielle wasn't thought about at the time. Danielle came 7 years after Mary. So we there, I had to take care, so I couldn't work. So now after he tried to kill my daughter, that's deceased today, my aunt told me, I think I got that in the video, but I got to put this in this video. I got that in a video of my daughter. You can find that, what he did to my daughter. And she told me, she said, Sharon, she said, you're not going to be able to work. She said, because if you work and make money, Tracy going to kill you. That she told me. And this is like a prophetess. A prophetess. She didn't have the name prophetess, but God spoke to her and told her things, and I saw her work miracles. I saw her heal bodies. She healed my own body. She said things that came to pass. Watch it. There's a warning. Somebody's going to die. Whatever. A bird came flying in the church one time, flying, flying, flying. We had to stop the service, try to get the bird. And this bird refused to leave out the church. And my aunt said, that's a warning. Somebody's passing away. I can't remember who died, but sure enough, somebody from the church died. Could have been her mother. So when she said things to me, I took it to heed. I believed it because I knew for a fact that it was God speaking. You see what I'm saying? How would she know what's going to be in the future? Because it was future 100%. So, because he did try to get me. Um, so she said, you can't work, you can't get no job. She said, because if you do, Tracy gonna want the money. And if you don't give Tracy the money, Tracy gonna kill you. She said that the night that he tried to kill my daughter, our daughter. And he wanted money then. He wanted for some cigarettes. So he wasn't even on crack then. So he was going crazy for cigarettes. And as time went on and he got on the crack binge, it was really crazy up in my house. So with that being said, now we come into my workspace. So even with that being said, I will go out, being on public assistance, there was programs that you had to go to. I forgot what it was before it became back to work. It was some other name that public assistance will call things that you would have to go, and you will always have to come to this class or to this program dressed up like you're going on an interview. Anybody who was public assistance and ain't got no shame in their game, can you comment what that program was? Okay, so I would always go to I would always go out dressed up, go find a job, try to find a job, just that and the other. And I always didn't have no luck. Always didn't have no luck. Never could find a job. Never could get a job. Got all this experience. Done been to college. Done been community college. Done been to undergraduate. All this different stuff. Got nothing. Put it that way. I was going to say got an associate's degree, all that. Nothing. And I never got them because each time I would go and try to pursue that, something would happen at the house and I couldn't finish it. So I never was able to get my degrees. But one thing I did accomplish I did get my GED. Now, it may be nothing to you guys, y'all that went to Harvard and y'all that went to NYC, NYUC, whatever you call that, Princeton, and all these good colleges. High five to y'all. You see what I'm saying? I had to go to a little Monroe college, and I couldn't even finish that. Okay. And that's what got me interested in computers. So that is my backup, more so like a hobby, because I didn't get no degree into it. You know what I'm saying? I just got basic knowledge. I did go to school, I did go to college for what was that, computer science and all that stuff like that, and anything that was underneath that. I did do that. But I didn't finish it. Everything that I started, I never finished it. And I know for a fact, if I had pursued it, I would be much further than I am today. But I guess maybe, even though I wasn't with my husband, I had this thing in my head that I gotta take care of my kids. And I went, now mind you, I got a job, right? I was working at this company that I was getting. It was a private company. It was a copy company where I had to copy documents that was from the courts. Some stuff we read, we wasn't really supposed to read it, but if our managers whatever wasn't paying attention, every now and then we all would peek at something. But to be honest, we was more so into getting these deadlines done. So we didn't have all that time to read stuff, right? One time I got a box, because it's a box. And if it's deadlines, sometimes we get like 20 boxes. So everybody on the floor will have to stop the work that they doing, because when we come into the job, we will get our own job that we had to do. But when we got deadlines, people will come, and sometimes we be in the middle of a job, the middle of the day, sometime early morning day, depending on how the courts was and what they needed. And they would send it to us, and we would have our supervisor would have a GM meeting. That's where I got GM from. We would have our GM meeting, because he would yell out, "All right, GM, GM." Everybody would stop what they doing and go to the front, and then they would tell us about what had to be done and stuff like that. So sometimes I would get envelopes, or I would get books where I had to rebond. You see what I'm saying? It would be coming apart, and I would have to rebond them like this, like reborn. You see how this is? We did this, right? They had the cases and all that stuff, and they would tell us. They would give us the the directions of what they wanted, and we had everything was there. Everything was there. So we would, and that's the only time I actually got. I speak for myself. That's the only time I actually got a chance to actually see stuff. So if this was in the book, I would have to take whatever was there. I would have to take a copy of it. If it was just let's say it was this envelope in there and nothing in it, I still had to, because sometimes it would be like this, some writing on it. So I would have to open it up and take a copy of that like this. Then I would have to take it like this, take a copy of that, and then I would have to turn it around and take a copy of this. And it had to look just like this. Had to come out. They had awesome copy machines. I learned how to use the copy machine. I learned how to change toner. I knew what was going on in the machine. I knew how to fix machine. So I got promoted to the QCer. Y'all know what QC is, quality control. So I was in charge. So sometimes when they would have big projects, they would put me in charge of it. And I would be the one that would take care, be one walking around making sure everybody doing stuff, and then I would go on mines and help out or whatever the case. But okay. So I got that job. That job was a good job. That was the job I was telling you that I got paid $700. I got paid by the week, weekly. So every week on a Thursday, I got paid. So I was making good money. When I would file my taxes, my income tax would be like 15,000. I'm telling you, I got good money. I got good money. And the sad thing about it is that my mind then isn't like it is now. Because if it was, I would have some money now. Because I wasn't investing. And you probably say, "Oh, you was buying all them Louis Vuittons and them Cartiers." No, I didn't know nothing about Louis Vuitton back then. How old was I? I probably was in my early 20s. Because remember, I got married when I was 19. No, I got pregnant when I was 19. I got married when I was 20. My first child was born when I was 20. By the time I turned 23, I already had all three of my children. So I know nothing. I came straight out of church into a marriage. I came straight out of church, living with my grandmother, into my own apartment, taking care four responsibilities because I didn't have my fourth child yet. My fourth child was my husband. So I have four responsibilities. So just think, I'm 22 years old, 23 years old, with all of this on my head. Who's thinking about working? So my only escape was to go out and get a job. So that way I won't be in the house. But while I'm out there working, what's on my head? What's going on with my kids? What's happening with my kids? Because I'm very trustworthy. I trust you. I trust you very quickly. Very quickly. And this being the father of my children, I trusted him. So I went out trying to get jobs or whatever. Because I wasn't working at this job before I met him. I mean, I was working at this job before I met him. No, 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 no. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. What am I talking about? I went straight from my grandmother's house into marriage, into kids, no job. So I didn't start working until after we separated, and we got married in 1986, and 1983, and we separated in 1986. So my last child was born 1985, not Danielle, Mary. So in between 1985 to 1992, when I had Danielle, I had different jobs, right? So I worked at this job and I had to quit because I got an ACS case due to the fact of me not being home and my child getting hurt while she was in the house. Not by my husband. She got a finger stuck in there. Let me see. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. No, this is before Danielle. This is before Danielle. That's like my third ACS case I got. The first one, I never got an abuse case, even though they tried to put abuse on me. So I never abused my children. I don't have that lingering over my head. But they did put neglect on me. And I will agree with the neglect because I was busy trying to get myself together. People may think I was selfish, and people may still think I'm selfish. I think about me because people have no idea what I went through thinking about other people, taking care of other people. And I'm not taking care of me. So where people would say, my kids came first. My family came first. This came first. At that particular time, I came first. And I was losing the battle with me coming first. Even though I was trying to take care of me, I wasn't taking care of me. I was still wind up doing for my kids. And you'll probably say, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that is. Orange Bronx. Why is it calling? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning. My name is Osvaldo. I'm calling from Aaron's. May I please speak with Sharon Joyce?
Speaking.
Oh, yes, this call may be monitored and recorded. I'm calling in regards to processing a payment on your account today.
For what? I don't pay it. What am I paying?
Yes, you paid today. You paid one of your agreements. You still have the arcade game that you have to pay for, and the watch that you didn't pay for. You only paid for the where was that Peloton mattress between things size.
Okay, that's not due to the 15th. We set up the 15th for easy pay.
Give me 1 minute. Should fix that for you. Maybe the system.
Hello? 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 Now we're gonna get some on already. Somebody's always interrupting. I'll be back.